Sorry I'm late. I was just making some brews.
A brew? We're working. We can't drink beer at work, Sarah.
It's not beer. I would never advocate drinking on the job.
See, this is why we need this.
This is why we need it. This is why we're doing a second episode. Because certain Americans, like this one over here, still get confused by the simplest of things.
Like coffee.
Like coffee, apparently.
Brilliant. Hello, delighted to see you again. Huh? Getting better?
Yeah.
Let's see yours.
What's up, y'all?
All right, which leads us to the first topic of discussion. Let's do some words.
Let's do some words. So, we'll go for a brew. A cup of tea or a cup of coffee.
One would think it would be that simple. We would call this, in America, tea. We would call that tea, and then this coffee.
So you call beer brew?
We would call a beer a brew. Yeah, like, oh, you want to go get a brew after work or head to the... Hey, you want a brew? A brew is a beer, usually, in America, from where I'm from.
Would never say that. If you were going for a drink after work, you would want to go for a quick pint.
Oh, a pint. That's fancy.
Quick beer. You wouldn't say a brew.
Do you
a
say
brew?
Like...
You brew in a pot of tea, or you brew in the kettle, so you're making a brew. That good? You got it?
Yeah, it makes sense, but it's still misleading.
You want to do the next one?
The infamous cafeteria food for all primary, secondary, high school education system. We would call this, in America, hot lunch. Lunch is the meal that you eat midday, follows breakfast, and it's before dinner. Hot lunch.
See, it opens up a whole debate, this one. Not just England versus America, this is a North versus South thing as well. So I would call that a school dinner. Where...
Dinner. No lunch.
So where I'm from up north, we would say breakfast, dinner and tea. Whereas down south, London way, they would say breakfast, lunch and dinner. So it's school dinner, like dinner's your afternoon meal up north.
So you have hot dinner at school and then you go home.
School dinner.
School dinner. And then you go home and you have, for your dinner or your supper, you have tea. But then when you drink your tea, you're having a brew because you wouldn't call tea and you wouldn't call dinner your dinner food.
I mean, it's not not the easiest to understand when you put it like that.
Welcome to the UK.
Hence why we need these videos, apparently, because that was the most complicated thing I've ever heard.
Makes sense if you were born with it.
That's why everyone thinks that England is London, because London speak properly.
That's a great one. So many of my family members, hey, how's London? I'm like, I don't know. It's like 2.5 hours away.
Serious.
What's up next?
Easy one.
So I know this, and it's quite funny, actually. I think that you should go first, because the suspense is killing me.
It's a torch.
I nearly spit that out. Great, it's a torch. So like my vision of a torch is like the cavemen or the medieval times and they have like the flaming stick of fire and they're like, ah, or like the Olympic torch, you pass the torch.
That makes sense.
But we would call this a flashlight because it's a flashlight.
It doesn't flash.
If you flick it on and off, it sure gets flashy.
I mean, it does the job of the torch that you described, so it's
just
a universal term for an object that gives light.
A torch just sounds so dangerous, like you're gonna light something on fire or crystallize some sugar on a creme brulee.
Do you know on your mobile phone?
My flashlight on my mobile?
Is it called flashlight on your... Is it called flashlight on your phone?
It is.
It's called a torch on mine.
Get out. So if you're like, hey, phone, turn on the torch.
Yeah.
You can tell it to do that.
Should we see if it'll work?
Absolutely.
Hey Google, turn on the torch. Did you do it? Did it?
I gotta try. Hey Siri, turn on the torch.
Okay, I turned the flashlight on.
See? Siri knows where it's at.
But she says, okay, I turned the flashlight on. So who said it better? Tomato, tomato.
That was interesting. You can't turn it off now. You got it?
Oh, that was
torch.
All right, well, the debate is debatable, but if Siri understands you, that kind of says a lot because her and I don't really see eye to eye. This one is a good old hootenanny. 14 days, also known as 2 weeks, time is a period in the calendar time that we would call 14 days or 2 weeks. However,
I hate that you take the mick out of this one so much.
it's like my favorite.
14 days or 2 weeks or a fortnight.
So, I mean, I might sound thick. I do remember studying like Shakespeare in like the 6th or 7th grade, and we learned about fortnight and certain words that would be different for the American school. But when I moved here and my landlord was sending me information about like the wheelie bins and he wrote fortnight, I had to Google what it meant. Use it or lose it, my friends. And that's why we're here to educate you, because I forgot that 14 days was a fortnight and that people in the modern age use the term.
COVID has been very good for the word fortnight though.
Has it though? Because I remember...
Gotta isolate for a fortnight.
Yeah, and nobody was saying fortnight. They're like, please quarantine for 14 days. And I was like, you guys talk about this word fortnight. Here we have this pandemic, and never once have they said fortnight. It's always like 14 days.
I make it a point of pride now to always say fortnight around you.
I would appreciate an applicable time to use said word.
I will forever use it. Okay. This one's not too different, to be fair.
Not too different, just okay.
I mean, we all work on an Air Force base, have something to do with an Air Force base.
Air.
So we all know what an aeroplane is.
A what?
An aeroplane.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Is that your accent, or are you adding letters?
An aeroplane.
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 Spell that.
A-E-R-O plane.
So I think that's fancy, like, you know, aeronautical sciences and whatnot. But really, like, it's just called an airplane. I even tried this one as I text the word aeroplane to Sarah over here. And my phone underlined it like it was an error, or it separated the words because it doesn't exist.
If I text it you, perfect. There's no red line on my phone.
But we don't need a demo because Siri
We all
didn't
know
have my back on that last one.
Lindsay can't use technology, so we won't do that.
Yeah, there's that too.
So it's not too different, just you guys miss out a letter, basically. Apart from that, we're good.
Oh, I'm sorry, a plane was going overhead, an airplane. What was that? You hear that?
Shut up. Do that.
We actually have a bonus one for you today because this is so good.
It's only because I wanted to look at David Beckham's face for a little bit.
This is a fashionable do. One might refer to as a mohawk or a faux hawk even. Like if it's shorter, a mohawk is basically the long line of hair that an American may sport on their do.
Or it could also be referred to as a Mohican.
She's serious.
Google it. I'm not wrong. It's a thing. Made famous by Mr. Beckham.
I think they've been around a little bit longer, but
I think he was the first one in England.
Oh, that's good stuff. So thanks, Sarah, for the educational experience. It has been
Educational. as always.
I feel like a torch. Lit up.
Oh.
You like
We
that?
almost got through without some disappointment, and then... Okay, so that's all of the words we've got for you today. Stay tuned. There's hopefully going to be more episodes. Nice chatting with y'all. Bye.
Oh, have a lovely day. Can't wait to do it again.
Bye.
Bye.